abandoned but temporary. But I did not know that you wouldn't always be here to watch me finish it off. And let me tell you that I'm thankful for it every day. It may be over now, but to hell, 'cause it's not too late. You have your place here and now, stop carrying all the weight. But it's alright, 'cause it's time for me to shoulder it. And let me tell you that I'm thankful for it every day.
There we go. Cool. Yeah, I was like trying to like very quickly but subtly turn up the volume and turn down the volume of like background music, and then OBS was like, "Nah, you're not gonna do that," and like yeeted me across the control panel to like the other side. Yeah. Anyway, really love your work. Thank you so much. Take this time to say that this is something I've been streaming a lot more, in case I didn't notice. I have been streaming here on YouTube, but I do stream even more regularly over on Twitch. That's been a fun thing. And today's stream's not going to be super long. I spent like an hour on Facebook and realized it was a dumpster fire of a mess. So I decided to move on over to YouTube. Yeah, people weren't engaging or talking at all in that stream, and I don't know if the problem was... Yeah, it looks smooth. It looks smooth here. Cool. I don't know if the problem was like it was being glitchy, because I had that issue yesterday on Twitch, which for some reason my bitrate was extremely high, so I'm pretty sure that was why it was glitchy. And then, but I couldn't tell if it was Facebook being the problem or my computer, OBS, or whatever being the problem. But anyway, YouTube, this is going to be my trial to see if all the fixed settings will make this stream a lot smoother here. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Remember to hydrate or dihydrate. Cool. So this is the project I was working on while I was streaming on Facebook. Most of it was already done. I recorded this like a few days ago. I was just kind of adding finishing touches, and I think I'm done with the finishing touches. I kind of really had to pee, so in between streams I went to use the bathroom, and while I was using the bathroom, I like before that I just couldn't think straight, so I didn't know if everything I was writing was really good or really bad. So yeah, I'm about to play it and see how it all sounds. Also, let me know if you can hear everything fine. Everything should be fine because I'm looking at the audio input to the stream, but I can already tell this Timmy is really loud. dope. Yeah, so it all sounds good. I mean, things were not balanced. This is Logic Pro. Logic Pro 10 or X. I'm sure that's the only Logic Pro people are using. Yeah, so things weren't balanced super well before, and I was able to balance them out like as they were coming in. But yeah, I think this piece is done. I really like it. I can't really think of anything else that needs to. Actually, there's one thing. One thing I actually want to take out. It's right here. It's that timpani. It's just you can't. Howdy. What's up? Trending tech. Howdy. Glad people from I recognize from Twitter are here. Suicide Machines represent. Yeah, the homies. This is for my friend. So my friend commissioned me to write this for their Twitch, which is like a Twitch stream that's a lot about like botany and plant sciences. Hello, Connor. Yeah, so the vibe I was going for was very like some PBS 80s 90s documentary vibes, and my friend was like, that's exactly what I wanted out of this. So yeah, I'm like gonna add like a filter. What's it called? I'm debating adding a filter over it to give it like that. Hold on, let me see, because I have like a plugin that you can add filters and stuff. It's that real VHS, you know, that VHS vibe. In. That'd actually be pretty interesting. If it was up to me, I would do that. I might bounce two versions of it. One that does have that like that VHS vibe, and then when it comes in, it's like full. But not up to me. It's up to my friend. So, but I'll definitely present that. Alright. Sorry, I'm just going through all these presets. Really does sound like a damaged tape. Yeah, it really does sound like a VHS. Alright, sounds like an anime opening. Yeah, that's also a great vibe. I'm always going for the anime opening vibe. Dope, yeah, I think this piece is done. So I'm gonna start composing a piece that I wrote a long time ago. I've been meaning to rewrite it. I'll bounce this later. Let me go ahead and open up a new project. New. I'm not saying that because I play trumpet. Thank you. Yeah, it was a really fun trumpet part. I had a lot of fun with this piece. Typically, when I get commissions, it's to write ska music, and I straight up like studied like music composition in school. So whenever I get commissions to write not ska and like really mess with like all of the like scope of music that I know, it's really awesome to just like mess around and have fun. It's something I don't often get to do with my commissions or my covers, obviously, even though I do get pretty experimental with some of my covers, but never get to go like chains off, let's mix together as much as you wanted, because that piece mixed together a lot of ska influence, emo influence. I can't remember the classical, that's the word I was looking for, orchestral, whatever you want to call it, like soundtrack. How many subs do I have to get to collab / sing on one of your covers? I really don't care about subscriber count. I've never really, I mean, most of the people I get to collab with aren't even YouTubers or have like social media going. I really just ask people who I like their stuff, pretty much. Or if I hear someone's voice and I'm like, oh, that could fit this pretty well. I'm also like at this right now, with all the collabs I haven't planned, I'm going to be busy with collabs through the summer because I have like 20 people I'm already like have talked to and started working on stuff with. So right now I'm not even looking to collab on things just because I have so many backed up for so long. Listen to more ska bass lines. Hot Sea Captain. Listening is definitely the best way to learn how to do anything. Most ska bass lines is just like utilizing syncopation, landing on off beats, thinking of like polyrhythms, like a lot of dotted quarter notes or dotted eighth note like type rhythms. I typically think about staying up between the first and the fifth interval. Hold on, let me get my bass real quick. Yeah, so syncopation, ska, as you all know, ska is a genre that is based off of the offbeat. It is very much never focused on the downbeat. So, you know, if you're playing like a simple progression, like a C, F, G, C, F. So, like on the three, you can put like the fifth. And then take off that downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. And then from there it's just messing around. That's pretty much how I typically approach. And like it's different for every song because like I try not to have like the same bass line for everything, obviously. But it's like the basis of like playing ska. Like a lot of my inspiration just came from learning bass lines I like my best friends are metalheads. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and which I do which I do break that down in the first punk rock music theory video I did. How like it's really all the notes are emphasized on offbeats versus like the downbeat. Or like Monkey Man was another one. The biggest thing of that bass line that really makes it stick out to me is that which is something so minuscule. But if you take that and put on a downbeat, it's not as impactful for the downbeats without that one. Yeah. How to play ska guitar. All right, last question, and then I'll get to writing. Downbeats. There's two ways. I mean, there's multiple ways you can do it, but the way I think is the best. Downbeats, you're not pressing down. Upbeat, you are pressing down with your left hand. So when your right hand is strumming down, left hand is not pressing down. That causes the ghost note. That's like what ska guitar is based around. And then when your hand's coming up, you're pressing down with your left hand. I do a thing on my upstrokes where I go down. I use MT Power Kit 2 in Info Warriors. I do MT Power Kit 2 by Monda Audio. When I go down on the downstrokes, it's like 1 and so beats 2 and 4 I don't do the mute down because that's just the way I like to play. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm sorry, it's not beats 1 and 2. It's 1 and 2 and it's 1 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And there's no and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So there's no sound happening there. But you can have sound there or the ghost note there if you want. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. It's pretty once you get like that down, it's pretty easy. And then you can just start throwing in like slides. And stuff like that. Anyway, let's get to writing. Never had to knock on wood. Also, the VST drums. Do you use free? Do you use any paid VST? I don't have any free VSTs. Some of the stuff on this computer is hacked because my friend used to own this. And I have cracked things, but I own most of the stuff. Like, I own the keys, the serials to most of these plugins that I use. I bought MT Power Kit because it's donation based. And yeah, I'm going to donate to someone who's making a donation based drum plugin that's good. Because why would I not at least give something? Also, you have to give something, I think, in order to access it anyway. But, like, yeah, I think it's like a $9 minimum. But I've given like 40 or something like that because I'm making not tremendous amounts of money, but I'm making significant amounts of money I would not be able to make without that drum plugin. So the least I can do is give more than the minimum that they're asking. Like, people are struggling out here, and that person could have charged more money for that plugin, but made it like accessible for people. And that's really dope. No one has to do that, and obviously this person can be surviving. Yeah, I try my best to give back. Like, whenever any of my friends like make Patreons or things like that, I always try to be like there to support them. I have like half my Patreon is friends I support, the other half are artists I truly binge their content. And it's like, the same way people give on my Patreon for me to make content, I give on theirs. It's like, I think at this point it's $100 a month now for me goes to different artists and stuff on Patreon. I'm just constantly subscribing to people, and I've yet to unsubscribe to someone, though I might soon, just to switch up where my money is going, supporting smaller artists or so. But also I see how much I make on Patreon and how much that money looks like a big number, but then when you start putting all of the expenses of running a channel out, like you take that out of that number as far as rent and stuff like that, I realize it's not that big of a number. So I don't think I support anyone who makes too much money. I don't think there's such a thing as making too much money. I'm looking at you, Jeff Bezos, or any other billionaire. But as far as making content and how much money people on average make on things like Patreon, I don't think there's making too much money. Especially content creation is hard work. Oh yes, a hot seat captain. You said practice bar chords. Yeah, you can't do that upstroke thing without bar chords. There are ways kind of to do it, but it's not like the authentic like ska way. Ska is built off of bar chords as far as ska guitar goes. Beautiful. All right. So the way I like to compose music is I like to create like a layout. I like to create a layout on the... Oh, I just noticed it's showing the old project. Hold on, let me go fix this in OBS real quick. It's showing like the old project instead of the new project open. So this will be a quick fix. There we go. Dope. That wasn't too detrimental. Good thing I had that open. Y'all would have been looking at this like, what is going on? Until someone finally was like, haven't anyone noticed? Is it frozen anyone else? Someone else probably said that at some point. Do you use the entire bar chord or do you just use the lower 4 strings? I focus most of the attention on like the highest strings, but depending on the part of the song or how heavy I want it to sound or how light I want it to sound, I will use, less of the lower strings and more of the upper strings. But it all depends, honestly. Alright, so yeah, I like to map out what I'm doing in the cover, which thankfully, this is something I've written before, so it'll be super quick to map out. And then I like to build based upon the skeleton. Like in the other track, the top it said reference piano, which most of the time I'll keep the reference piano, a lot of it in, because I really enjoy piano. Like Joe Hisashi and Ivy Tran from... Joe Hisashi works at Studio Ghibli, writing the music for every movie, and Ivy Tran, one of the two people, Ivy and Slash, who write for Steven Universe. Both of their stuff is very piano-driven. I love piano-driven music, despite the fact I suck at piano. So I always try to have a lot of piano in my music. That's what I was trying to say with all that. No, that's too fast. Let's try 135. Nope, that's still too fast. I think 120 is the tempo. No, let's try 122. Let's try 123. Let's try 124. Let's try 126. Let's try 128. I'm very particular about tempos. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. I might make it a little faster or slower, but for now that is good. Quantize this, and then I can copy and paste it. That's easier. Copy and paste. You're not wrong. I can't, my brain does not have the power to play that. I can play a few of those songs, but that's one I could never get both hands down on. How did Twitter make you unfollow? What happened? I mean, I'm interested to hear that because I have a thing that like auto follows when people unfollow me just because I'm trying to get the follow count low. Sorry. A lot of the times when people do unfollow me, it's because they're either like racist, and they say racist things, and then they don't like when I say like, "Hey, fuck racist things." That's typically when people unfollow me, or it's just someone I went to high school with that I really don't care about. So I have a lot of people on my follow list that I don't want. So I've set up a thing that just kind of auto unfollows people when they unfollow me. So. But I didn't unfollow you. Oh, that's weird then. Normally I don't like unfollowing people that follow me if I'm following them already. So that's definitely an anomaly. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? This is Logic Pro. I need to set up a bot that automatically answers that question because people ask that question like a million times a stream. That's going to be, actually, let's go ahead and cut this and place it over here. And let's just do that. What's the... no. In case y'all couldn't tell, this is a very whimsical song, and I do not use the term whimsical on the norm. So, yeah, this is me building up my composition portfolio because that's something I've been slacking on because of this channel has distracted me from, not distracted, it's just I don't have time to maintain the channel and work on this, but now I'm starting to have time to do both. So wait, no, I'm playing something wrong. Nope, playing something wrong. I'm gonna look up the original because I can't remember what chord that was, which normally I don't forget those types of things, but it's gonna be pretty true to the original too. I guess I can play the original through. This is gonna be playing off SoundCloud, so. Oh God, no, I don't care. I don't want SoundCloud, bro. Guess I could turn it up in OBS. So this is the original. Alright, so that's exactly what I thought it was. Alright. I just wasn't sure. So let me do the left hand stuff first. So it's gonna be like a... Actually, I don't think those chords are right, though. That's what it is. Okay. I got it. I was thinking in the wrong key. So I gotta get the... Alright, I don't feel like coordinating myself to do this. So I'm just gonna record them separately. I really don't have a daily schedule. Did I see that question? Yeah, Jeremiah. I really don't have a daily schedule because I just do stuff. I like wake up, I eat food, and then I come in here, and then I waste too much time on the internet instead of being productive. And then I'd be productive. Some weeks I'd be more productive than others. That's the outline of it. Around like 9 or 10 o'clock, I'll like stop being productive and probably start playing Animal Crossing, and then go watch some animated show while playing Animal Crossing for hours. And then I'll get really hungry, realize I haven't eaten in like 12 hours, and then make food, but the food will come out because I'm so hungry I can't cook straight. Which I have food that doesn't need cooking. It's like leftovers, so that won't happen this week. I'm being more on top of eating. I made a big breakfast today, which is definitely not normal for me, but I'm being way more productive. So maybe eating food and taking care of your body is the key to being productive. Who would have thought? Definitely not the key, but one of the things that'll help. That was not the right chord. What time did I wake up today? 1 o'clock, which is, believe it or not, the second earliest I've woken up in the last 2 weeks. Also, like, it's not even because I'm in quarantine, because my life has not changed at all in the last, like, 4 months. When my mom was pregnant with me, she worked night shifts, and I learned in school later. Well, this is something that like my mom kind of already knew, that like whatever shift she was working, like while she was pregnant, that like my brothers and sisters have like that, or my brother and my sister, I should say, because I only have one of each, have like that sleep pattern. So like my brother wakes up early because my mom had to wake up early for work when she was pregnant. My sister likes to wake up like at 10 or 11 because my mom worked afternoons. And I like to wake up at like 3 p.m. because I'm a heathen. And my mom worked nights at the time. And then I learned in school later that that's actually like a thing. Like one of the first things the baby develops is the sleep patterns during pregnancy. So yeah, that's why I have a infinitely messed up sleep pattern. People always say things like, oh, just go to sleep earlier. You'll start waking up earlier. And it's like, that's just not like a thing. That's actually not a thing. Like, you can train yourself to wake up earlier. That's like a thing. But like naturally, if you don't have to, your body will fall into its natural sleep patterns. And that's something that'll like never go away. And that's something I learned in school as well. And people tell me all the time, like people told me all the time, just wake up early. And it's like, yo, I worked at Waffle House. I had to be at work at 5 a.m. And I was in school for like 2 years straight. And then after that, I did drum corps. And then after getting out of drum corps, I went back to working mornings at a breakfast place. So for 4 years straight, every day for 4 years. I'm kidding. I'm not even kidding you. I didn't have more than 2 days with a day off during that 4-year period. I was waking up at the earliest 4:30 and at the latest 8 a.m. And literally 3 days after that, when I first had my first 3 days rowing off, I was literally waking up at 3 p.m. Like my body never adjusted. It never adjusted. So yeah, you don't just get used to it. So if you're someone who tells someone that, don't tell them that. Would you start a gaming or a TV show review channel? I've thought about doing a channel. So like I kind of regret not doing a channel because like years ago I used to talk so many theories about Gravity Falls. Like you can go on my Tumblr and do some deep digging, and I would have like paragraph long theories on Gravity Falls, which I don't want to spoil the show for anybody, so I'm not going to. But a lot of my theories were right. A lot of them were extremely... One of the biggest theories, like twist of the show, I predicted, but in a different way. Like 90% of my theory was what happened in the show. And all of my friends who also watch the show, they're like, all right, Jeremy, you're a wizard, you're a prophet. I also predicted a lot of big Steven Universe theories. All of my like headcanon theories turned out to be true. So I love animation, especially like this new era. Spoil the show that ended in 2013. Yeah, I mean, at this point, everyone should watch it. But I will say this. Gravity Falls in the last year has exploded in popularity because now it has sat long enough for people to really let it sink in that how good of a show it is. So a lot of my friends are now watching it for the first time. So I don't... You're a wizard, Jeremy. I'm a what? That's so funny. Yeah, so a lot of people are watching it now. I think, especially with the quarantine and everything, people are starting to give the show a chance. So, yeah, Gravity Falls is an incredible watch. It's actually mind-blowing. I want to rewatch it, which I have not done since it aired, because I don't like watching things like multiple times. But when it was airing, I used to rewatch those episodes all the time. Do I have theories in the Owl House? No, because it's not on Disney Plus yet, and I've only watched the first 5 episodes. The only theory I have, which is not even a theory I came up with, but more of a theory that The Round Table, which is like a channel I love and Ostrich Box is a homie of mine. The theory I have is that what's her name? Stan, that they're connected in the universes. The Gravity Falls universe and the Owl House is like one universe. And I don't want to spoil Gravity Falls by saying the theory, but just go check out the what's it called? Go check out the channel, the Roundtable, and their theories on the Owl House. It's a very interesting, their theories on how they're connected to Gravity Falls. And like honestly, it's canon. With the amount of evidence they have, it's canon. I don't care what anyone says. Also, Alex Hirsch and the creator of the Owl House are a couple. I don't know if y'all knew that. These animation people love dating each other. What ska bands should I listen to? I'm always pushing Bad Time Records. Kill Lincoln, Grey Matter, Omnigone, so many bands like that. Also, Los Gogaleros is a band I always love pushing. Super underrated group of bands. The Office theme is actually the first ska covers I ever did, and two, the worst sounding covers I've ever did. I want to do like a whole Netflix cover like medley or binge streaming thing. That's something I want to do at some point. Alex Hirsch does voice King from the Owl House, which is a theory. That's part of the theory of who King really is in relation to Gravity Falls. Super interesting theory that I think is true. That is just not right. Hold on. There we go. F sharp's not my strongest key. Ska versions of anime openings, JK. Well, I did the Sailor Moon one a little while ago, and I don't want to spoil any cool covers that I'm working on right now, actually. So I'll leave it at that. So that's really low. I forgot what I did in the original for that part. So let's play it. Let's play the original. Oh, I think I turned it down on y'all's end. Whatever. Okay. I remember now. Yeah, it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. I just wanted to make sure. So... No. There it is. Go to that harmonic minor. Play the minor. Wrong chord. Play the minor chord. Go down a half step. Something got quantized really wrong. Let's fix this. yeah, and that's pretty much all the rest of that track. This piece goes. So enough dilly dallying. Let's get to. Your name is literally a Gravity Falls reference. Whose name? Whose name is a Gravity Falls reference? Is it Howler? Is Howler a Gravity Falls? Which one? Which one? All right, I should just read the comments and I'll probably figure it out. I feel like Gravity Falls connection would be cool, but the Owl House definitely stands left without being tied to any other shows. Well, yeah, I mean, like, it's not that it is tied to other shows. It's like this. It's just more like a, you know, like, technically, every show in the in that Disney universe is kind of tied. If you're talking with the whole like Stan going through the multiverse type thing, then everything's kind of what's it called, tied together. So. What? Oh, Tad Strange. I didn't see that. I guess I missed it. Manda Power Kit 2. MT Power Kit 2 by Manda Audio. Oh, that's in 5/4. That's why it didn't line up. So, let's do one measure of 2/4, and then let's go to 5/4. Let's go to 3/4 after that. And then let's record the left hand because I'm not coordinated. That was not the right last note, but we could just do that. So. Let's try that all. Let's try all of that again. That one note always messes me up. Also, I'm using a guitar like switch pedal as a sustain pedal, which is not sustainable. Ha ha ha. See what I did there? It's really finicky. So that's taking more brain power than it should. That ending was butchered. Let's just do it all again. Alright, there's one part I'm not remembering how it went. So let's play the original. Nice fun old game of play the original. So that's it. And then dun, dun, okay. Dun, 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 I think that's what that. No, that's not it. No. I think that's what. Boom, 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 making out what I wrote like 3 years ago. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna change it to. Fuck it, YOLO, you know? You think of Zelda's Lullaby literally because it's in 3. That's like, what's it called? Zelda's Lullaby is literally like a song that's, a lot of those like Ocarina of Time songs too are really definitive because they're like in the meter of 3. Like, oh God. You know, like stuff like that, like it's in 3. That's like a big thing with a lot of those melodies. I think the meter in that original part changes too. No, it doesn't. I'm just not holding it out long enough. Why am I having issues? I actually need to count. Let me get the count structure of it. Counting is the solution to literally everything. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. Comes in on 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yep, just counting is the literal answer to everything. Any plans? I saw like something like that. Sorry, I'm flipping between the chat and SoundCloud, so I can't see everything. Any plans for Dolphin Shores? Not right now. I have a lot of planned covers coming up. That is not one of them. Do you recommend free recording software like Ableton Live, Pro Tools that come with an audio phase, or just buying Logic Pro? Pro Tools is free? I didn't even know that. I would feel like Pro Tools is the opposite of free because it's like industry grade. I mean, it just depends on what you want. Like, I started out writing music like this, like orchestral compositional music, and the MIDI integration and Logic is like beautiful. I think it's the best out of all of them. So So like, yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on what you like. I can't really speak for other DAWs too, because this is the only one I've really used. So I've never used Ableton. So so. Do I want to do that, or do I want to do? Yes, I want to do that one because that implies the. Whoopsie daisies. Dope. All right, now we got the skeleton down. Let's start adding stuff. Stand on the shoulders of giants. Folks have been making MIDI files of songs since the 90s. Yep. 100%. Also, you'd believe it or not, a lot of stuff you hear like in movies and stuff like that, a lot of it is more MIDI than you realize. It's just faster. It's like why, like if someone's making a short film and they have a low budget, they can only afford to pay like one person. What are you gonna do? Try to pay pennies to multiple musicians to record and then go through the process of recording and all of that, or just pay one person who knows how to create an entire orchestral sound. Granted, it's obviously not as good as real instruments, but someone can create a full orchestral sound for a background music, which you're not even going to be listening to that heavily anyway. Or sometimes that's the effect you want. I feel like Steven Universe's soundtrack is a great example of that. Where they really, because like it sounds like video game chiptune music, so having those like MIDI sounds really plays off of that extremely well. If you're making like a video game, it works. It doesn't need to sound fully realistic. I don't even know who John Sedano is. The name sounds familiar though. What is John Sedano known for? Is there a way I can do like less reverb? Reverb. Yeah, tons of producers have talked about how even though they can play the actual instrument, MIDI is efficient and incredibly convenient. Oh yeah, I use MIDI not for the covers, but for a lot of writing, I use MIDI all the time. That was not the right note. Let me get rid of that up there. So before I even get into this, I'm gonna color code this track or this project. So when I'm doing stuff later, it's easier to color regions by track. There we go. Now I already know I want a marimba there, so let's go ahead. I thank you for watching all of my covers, Eric, and those alike. Isn't he the drummer that mashes everything with All Star? Oh my gosh. Um, I don't think I've seen those. Or I probably have seen them. I'm just now like making the connection in my mind. Here we go. I'm already in the. Oh, cool. I'm already in the percussion. No. VSL percussion, marimba. Yeah. Oh, whoops. I was recording on the wrong track. Alright, so percussion I like to give, let's assign track color. There we go. Percussion I like to give like a red, but they're just, I don't know why, there's just no red in this Logic. Just like, fuck red, I guess. So I'll give it this like light reddish brown. So whoops. And then that I know I want to be a xylophone, I believe. So let's select that track. Where is it? Here it is. Ah, yes. That's so funny. You already covered basket case. Yeah, pretty much. And then just copy and paste that there. I should name these too. Marimba. Oh, that is not how you spell that. Xylophone. There we go. Nice. I think a nice trumpet. And I had a horn on the first one I did of this, the first version. But I think I want to change that to trumpet. See how that sounds. Like a nice dark brassy orchestral trumpet. All right, let's try this. You mean this melody? Uh. The character select. Like that. That one. I guess because like they both generally have that like flow, that direction. Like they both climb up. That whole soundtrack is built off of a lot of fourths, like brassy fourths. Like this whole thing. Like that's climbing up a fourth and then a fifth. Fourths and fifths. It's very triumphant. Composers will use that a lot to showcase like a triumphant feeling. And like Miele's soundtrack is very triumphant. Like yeah, I mean I don't know how else to explain that. Like Superman's like theme is based very much off of Aaron Copland, who Eric Copeland was an American composer. Of course, Superman is very American, very patriotic, kind of weird. So, like, or however it goes, like that's all fourths and fifths. Fifth on top of a fifth? Tell me that's not very triumphant, very superhero-y sounding. Alright, anyway. Brass I like to make gold because I might change that to horn. I'm not sure. I'm like debating it. Create. No, that's not what I want to do. Assign track color. There it is. So brass I like to make gold. Brass instruments are gold normally. Let's try horn with this same melody now. Just re-record it. It's not that big of a deal. Horn. I just saw this message, didn't it? It's held for review. Yeah, music theory, kind of. Music theory really is just analyzing the effect that certain musical ideas have over and over again. And if it has the same effect over and over again, then it must be like, must mean the theory is that that's what the effect gives. Like a 5 chord to a 1 chord always gives a sense of resolution. Like you can play a scale and if I don't finish it, drives you insane. But having it complete, that's the sense of resolution. So having the 5 chord gives that same sense of like, you need that completion. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that, this whole thing, because you don't need that there. I think I'm gonna do French horn first and then trumpet trade off. and then both. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So trumpet. Yeah. Yo, Kill Lincoln is so good. I will not rest until they become a commonplace name when people ask for suggestions for ska. And it blows my mind that people aren't listening to them more. I mean, they're definitely growing a lot. I don't know what's up. I think it's just a quarantine. Ska, people are like looking for more ska now, or what? But I'm glad people are starting to like listen to them more. Yeah, Second Cities is so dope. That I've listened to some of their new stuff. Their new record might be my favorite ska punk record of all time for sure. Like hands down. Like just it might triumph everything else that's come out. Except for maybe Everything Will Be Alright, My Friend by the Bruce Lee Band. That is my favorite ska punk record of all time. Although at the same time, I kind of say that record's not super ska punk. I think it's definitely just more like third wave ska. Like there are some punk parts for sure. And since Jeff Rosenstock is the backing band for Mike Park in that, there's a lot of like indie influence sprinkled in. But yeah, so the new record that they have coming out, oh my god, the art, incredible. And I also very much take into consideration like that type of stuff. Like artwork is important to me, and stuff. So I'm super excited for that record. All right, now Hero on oboe. So let's go ahead and put an oboe. Got into ska playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater on my PlayStation 1. Isn't that the story of Minnie? Actually never played that when I was younger. One of the few. I guess. I feel like everyone who's like my age definitely got into it through like TV more than Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I feel like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, like PlayStation 1 was a thing when I was a kid, but I feel like I was like not a kid that was trying to play games like that. Like the GameCube and the PS2 and all that came out when I was like 5 or 6. No, the GameCube came out, what year did the GameCube come out? 2002? 2002 I would have been 7. So like I feel like when the PS1 was out and Tony Hawk Pro Skater stuff was out, I was like 4. And so like obviously like a 4-year-old's mind isn't that stimulated by like a skateboarding game. Because everyone I know who's like my age, who's like mid-20s right now, everyone says like the Digimon movie or like stuff like that. So Eric, normally I play around more with stuff because I'm like, yeah, it's always like messing around. I think is the best way. But this track is actually a re-recording or a rewriting, I should say, because I'm not really recording anything, of a track that I wrote 3 years ago, and I really like the structure of it already. I'm just updating it with better MIDI and mixing. So yeah. This one I pretty much have things in mind. Although I am messing around a little bit because once again I have way more sounds to mess with. The back of my chair is like falling off, so if you see me like flailing and falling back, that's why. I've been leaning back and it's just like not there. I just remembered then there. Yeah, I don't want that second measure. So I want to keep the momentum a little faster with this part. So I'm gonna go ahead and move all this back. Oh, I didn't move that. I didn't move any of this back. So I'm gonna replace that. Is there a way to make the articulation happen faster? I think there is a way. I think if I move this up like that. Are those two just out of time? No, they're not out of time. Why are they happening so delayed? Sure. Let's add some clarinet. Clarinet plugins I always have are really terrible, so bassoon, no, not yet. Definitely will be bassoon, but not yet. Is clarinet gonna be the last one, really? Okay. I don't know, the clarinet one always bothers me. I'm gonna have it there just for like texture purposes. I might mess with other plugins. Do I play Pokemon? No, I do not play Pokemon. Not that much. I used to a little bit when I was younger, but like very little. Got an idea. Something I didn't have the plugin sound for a while ago, but now I think somewhere in here I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and look for that real quick. I think this. Oh God. No, it's not in this one. Let's try this one. No, it's not in that one. Let me go to single percussion for this. Let's see, single percussion. No. All right, I don't think it's in this pack. It's in one of these though. Oh, I think it might be in the one I was just at, because I don't think I had a full. I used to have all these sounds cracked, and now they're not cracked. So some of the sounds never worked before. I wanted woodblock, and I never had a woodblock sound. Originally, when I first was writing this wasn't supposed to be a xylophone playing this. I'm sorry, no, that was a xylophone. There's in the original, there's like this xylophone playing this like sound, and I originally wanted it to be woodblock, but I never had woodblock, but now I do. Something like that, very subtle in the background, just. The prank where he talks about Scott. I have not seen that prank. This is Logic Pro. I need a bot that answers every time someone asks that question. I really do. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Yeah, so I can use it like there too. Oh, I never recorded the melody there. I want tuba on that melody, so let's go ahead and make this into a tuba part. So like I said earlier in the stream, Joe Hisaishi or Joe Hisaishi, I should say, and what's his name? Oh, just him. He's my favorite, one of my big inspirations for writing music. So one thing he loves to do, which evokes this very whimsical sound in a lot of his pieces, is he'll put the tuba and piccolo, not flute, piccolo. Tuba and piccolo, will pair them up a lot. And it creates this very, very, very sound of like whimsical. Let's go ahead and help this sound out so we can actually hear it. Let's start with the little EQ. Fix up these notes. What chord is happening there? So that's a go down just a half step. Actually, I think I have a preset tuba EQ. So I've EQ'd tuba before. Or I've EQ'd trombone or euphonium to sound like tuba. Let's try that. I'm gonna add a compressor too. I don't like running compression or anything early on. How often do you stream? I've been streaming like 3 or 4 times a week, but over on Twitch. So definitely go and follow there. I'm also gonna start posting on like the YouTube community, like Twitch stream schedules once I like figure out consistent stream times that work for me. But yeah, this is something I definitely will be doing a lot more. So if you want to see more streams, head on over to Twitch. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna try another tuba plugin sound. It's not as orchestral sounding as this one. It's more like just fake MIDI sounding, but it might cut through better and it might match the mood better. So let's see. Oh, snap. All right, let's see. Brass tuba. Oh, way more fake for sure. This one has more liberties, so let me mess around with it real quick. Just overall. I think if I like if I don't attack the MIDI too hard, it'll sound good. So let's too hard on that last note. Alright, well the rest of it's pretty good, so. let's make a piccolo track. Piccolo. And let's select the woodwind. Piccolo. Let's go up like 20 octaves because sorry if any of y'all own dogs, but or at least loud ass dogs. That velocity curve might be way too low. Actually, yeah, I'm deciding, making the executive decision. That velocity curve is way too low. All right, why do you every time I play it, it gets louder? All right. I just saw I Can't Believe Joe is Dead, and my heart dropped because I thought you were talking about Joe Hisaishi. Because I was just talking about him a little while ago. Okay, yeah, he's still alive. And he's 69. Yeah. But I saw him. I was making plans to actually fly literally to Europe this summer to go see him, and then obviously that's not happening. So that's like a life dream of mine to see Joe Hisaishi live. But rip Joe Rogan. Who is last name Hunt, first name Mike? I'm not aware of who that is. Who is Mr. Michael Hunt? I'm not sure who Mr. Michael Hunt is. I'm sorry. That's a very like, I'm trying to think of a word to describe that part. Sounds like someone's up to no good. And I feel like a great instrument to evoke that sound would be the bassoon. Probably gonna double up all of these midis with Why are these so quiet? Oh, I think I know. I think I know why they're so quiet. I think I need to turn this little knob up in the program. Yeah, that's better. All right. I forgot what the new camera I have over there, which is not a new camera, it's just my phone has a camera. Y'all can see my disgusting piano playing technique. Here I was thinking I was safe. Because when I used to use like the webcam on the computer, you couldn't see that, but now y'all can see my nasty piano playing technique. Alright, I'm gonna do tuba there as well. one random note that was very loud. Floss is only at 50. Are you kidding me? All right. Let's go ahead and add bells. I don't know why I have to close my eyes so damn hard to think about that. Bells. So the way I like to write, normally when I have something figured out already, is I like to map it out, which I already did, and then I like to go through and add the big parts. Big parts are parts I come up with later on. So like all the melodies, like what instruments are playing melodies. And then I like to fill in everything else. And then lastly, I like to add percussion. Because I think if it sounds tight without percussion, layering in a little percussion until it sounds nice and full is the way to go. Now, there's always exceptions on that writing technique. From writing a percussion-driven piece, I will not start writing, like, you know, not percussion parts. But, glockenspiel. That was the name of the instrument I was trying to think of. That's not what I had written in the original. Let's go reference the original again. The bell part's a little different. I like the bell part in the original better. That's what it was. There it is. There it is. All right. And let's add some strings. I like to add strings between. Oh gosh, why did I do it like that? That's gonna take way longer. Let me just copy this track and then change the color before I forget. Strings I like to make brown because string instruments are brown. Let's do violin first. Let's go ahead and change this plugin. Let's go ahead and change you to violin. String ensemble, violin ones. Dope. All right, so the articulation for pizzicato is G0. So a lot of these MIDIs will have trigger keys that'll change what type of articulation you're using. And to switch while not changing the entire like track you're on, you'll play something that's out of range, like a C0 is way out of range for violin, and that'll trigger the change. Do something like that. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry, I couldn't focus on saying more than that. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I think you're on like all my feeds now at this point, Jeremiah. I'm gonna do violin 1 because there's so much more violin to come. Any genres of music you don't like? Not really. I don't really think there's a bad genre of music, nor do I really think there's a genre of music I don't like. There are genres I don't listen to necessarily, but I think everything has its place and invokes I did the wrong plugin sound. Different vibes, and stuff like that. I know a lot of people, and also like I feel like genres of music are way too diverse to really like truly hate. Like I know a lot of people say like they hate what's it called, country music, and it's like, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of terrible country music out there, a lot of misogynistic, racist, like terrible country music, but there's also a lot of good country music out there, and especially a genre as expansive. I would say country is one of the biggest genres to like ever exist. It's like as broad as saying I hate rock music. It's like there's so much out there. If you're gonna say that you hate it all, that's kind of a bold statement to make. So no, I don't really think there's a genre that I hate. That's what that's gonna be. Pause. There you go. Do you do any TV/game/animation composition work? Yes, I've done a few short films, soundtracks too. I've never done a composition like this for any project like that. I would most absolutely love to do that. That's what I studied in school, and that's why I still work on this stuff, because I haven't worked on something like this in a long time. I've gotten way better at production. So the cool thing about Ska2 Network is that the YouTube channel Making Ska Covers was never obviously in the plan. I don't think any person has ever in their life, when they were going to college, said, I think I'm going to start a YouTube channel in which I do ska covers of songs as my career. But that's where this ended up, which I'm hella grateful for, one, because I can focus on only doing music. And even though Making Ska Covers wasn't the area in which I meant to grow and study in, it has helped me grow in production, which is something, as when I was learning, that's something they don't teach you in school, being a composer, like if you're going for a composition degree or something like that. Is you need to learn, if you're going to get into writing music, you need to learn how to mix it and master it yourself, or pay someone with the little money you're already making off composing for stuff to mix and master all your stuff. So Ska2 Network has helped me learn how to mix and master, which is great, because now I can write stuff for people and have it sound good. Viola. Let's do some viola. I changed that note too early. Well, to be fair, I wrote this a while ago, but I can write this fast, and I have written this fast before. This is something that I'm just rewriting because I'm trying to build together a reel of my compositions. I'm probably gonna take scenes from movies that exist, which is something a lot of composers do, and put my music behind it and do stuff like that, and like really start, because now I have a platform, and I'm grateful that I'm getting commissions and paid to write ska music. But dear Lord, this is what I really love to write and what I really want to dive into. And I need to start reaching out for gigs, writing stuff like this. And there's been a lot of gigs came up to me this year where people are like, submit your compositions. And I'm like, oh, I haven't composed anything like this in so long. I don't have the material to submit. And people aren't just going to like hire you to write your stuff if they don't have something to listen to. So that's why I'm going to start taking this time. I want to try once a week doing a stream like this where I'm writing a classical piece, something that is orchestral, something that really showcases beyond the scope of ska, because once again, this is what I studied. This is something I would love to do. And now I'm glad I can write faster. That's a great thing. I feel like less stressed if I ever got the gig to like do a real big project like a Netflix show or something like that, which I do have stuff like that in the talks. Very much only in the talks, but in the talks. Mainly because the shows themselves are still in the talks. But yeah. It's all about being ready for this type of stuff. Let's do that on cello. that happen? When did this everything get on the offbeat? Oh, okay. Let's see here. That makes a lot of sense why I had that random 2/4 measure at the end of this. I was like, that's so weird. Why is that 2/4 there? I'm on the... Excuse me? There we go. Oh, you work on Netflix? Oh, dope. Well, if you know anyone who needs music, I can write both ska and not ska and lots of other things. I'm trying to build this up. Network wherever you can. But yeah, no, definitely I have a few friends who all went to school for animation and stuff like that, and they said that they would love to have me work on their shows. But yeah, this is what I really love to do. And dang, I can barely hear that. I'm not using that plugin. You've done some videos covering songs for shows I've worked on. That's awesome. What shows have you worked on? I love meeting people in the animation world, or just in the TV and world in general. I don't know if you knew this, but I got to record on the Steven Universe movie. If you watch that movie and you've heard Adventure Time and DuckTales, heck yeah! Is it the new DuckTales? I'm assuming the new DuckTales. I feel like it'd be weird to work on DuckTales in 1987 and then not work in animation for 20 years and then start on Adventure Time again. But I don't know. Some people in animation be doing stuff like that. They be not working. Yeah, I just finished season 1 of the new one, or I'm about to finish season 1. Great work. I don't know exactly what work you did, if you were like a board artist or revisionist or anything like that. But phenomenal stuff. And I mean, Adventure Time I love as well. So that's awesome. Wow, someone that worked on that is on my stream. Well, thank you for being here. Yes, the Steven Universe movie. If you watched the Steven Universe movie, that's how I found your work. Love the covers and ska in general. Thank you so much. I feel like a lot of people who work in animation really love ska music because they're all of that age in which when they were growing up it was big. But yes, anyway, if you watch the Steven Universe movie, sorry I keep getting derailed. If you watch the Steven Universe movie and you heard any brass in that movie, except for French horn in one part, that was not me, but any trumpet, trombone, or euphonium, that was me. I recorded on like the first song, The Tale of Stephen, that opening trumpet lick and brass was all mostly me. There's French horn in that too, but all the low brass and the trumpet was me. The Isn't It Love, which is like a reggae like track, like reggae type vibe, that was me playing that. It's so funny because people were sitting me there saying, "This reminds me of you," like the horn playing. I'm like, yeah, it was me. And then Change, the final battle music. That was me playing horns in that. Yeah, so I have my feet wet a little bit in the whole world of animation. I love animation. Animation's like literally like my... Before I wanted to do music, I wanted to become a storyboard artist. Like, I didn't know what that meant back in like high school, but that's like something I knew I wanted to pursue. And yeah, animation has always been where my heart is with like what I love to do, what I love to watch and intake. Blew my mind with that fact. That's so funny. I feel like a lot of people don't know that I did that. I announced it. It was my most liked post on Instagram ever at like 5,000 likes or something like that. But yeah, it's so funny too because if you look at the credits of the Steven Universe movie and look at the song credits, I'm credited as Jeremy's Cartoon Network Hunter. So Cartoon Network was my credited name in a Cartoon Network movie. And so whenever people try to like, this one time this person like tagged me on Twitter like, why are you using Cartoon Network's logo? They're gonna like, he was like basically trying to get Cartoon Network to notice so they can like take legal action or something, I guess. And I literally responded with my name as Cartoon Network in the credits of their movie, followed by Cartoon Network being credited as the backing band for Cartoon Network Comic Con. So I was like, nice try, buddy. But, oh shit, Gracie's here. Hello. Yeah, I was like, nice try, buddy. But, Cartoon Network literally, like, Adult Swim sent me a care package because they like my stuff. Like, congratulations. Turner Broadcasting is already aware of my existence. But good try. Good try. You really thought you were onto something, buddy. Your IMD, wait. Wait, do I wait? Are you just saying in general your IMDb page, or do I actually have an IMDb page? Now I want to look this up. Is there a Scouts and Arc IMDb page? I didn't even know that. Is it because I feel like they just automatically make them once like what's it called? I am. Do I have one? Oh, there is one for my name, but they look like they're all not me. Well, glad to know there are other Jeremy Hunters working in the world of TV and movie. Good to know. No, I'm guessing it happens. You should check. Yeah, I didn't see. There are others. There's like 3 others from what I saw, but I'm also streaming. I don't want to deep dive. Oh, do I want to add bass on that melody, or do I want to? We're last name buddies. Oh heck yeah! That's definitely happening there. Actually, bassoon, I'm sorry, but goodbye. Yeah, I know I literally started that whole section saying bassoon needs to be playing that, but I like the bass way too much to not have it play that. All right, so. Ooh, all right, let's try this again. Actually, I think bassoon playing like a what's it called? It like on a staccato articulation rather than the drawn out might be better. So let's try that. Nah, I don't like that. I might just have it lower in the mix though, or have it less aggressive. Because without it, it sounds kind of empty. So let's turn it down a little bit. Let's less attack, less front end. Whoopsie daisies. Derek, do you still work in animation? Are you working on any shows now? Is that something you're allowed to talk about? I'm just curious now. I feel like at this point I just know so many people. Give it that MIDI, that nice robotic equal velocity on every note MIDI sound. I feel like I know a lot of people that work in animation at this point. Craig McCracken's new show is that Primal, I believe. I think I heard that somewhere recently. I don't know. Did I just release information that's not so? No, I saw it in a YouTube video. So if anyone comes after me for release, if that is even it, oh, that's Gendy. Okay, that's okay. Craig McCracken's new show. I feel like that information's in the back of my, because I deep dive animation news and stuff more than people probably think, because I really love animation and follow that stuff heavily. I feel like I've heard about Craig McCracken making a new show like a year ago or so, like a while ago. Like because like that name, I remember that name coming up and I was like, Craig McCracken, who is that? And then I found out like that's the person that made Powerpuff Girls, I believe, right? Craig McCracken made Powerpuff Girls? Am I starting to mix up my animators again? And Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Craig McCracken. Foster's, yeah, and I believe Powerpuff Girls as well. Yeah, left. Oh, and as Wander Over Yonder. Oh, I did not know that. That's incredible. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I did have my animation person in mind. Dope. If you have a favorite, what's your favorite instrument to play? I honestly really love playing trombone. It's my primary instrument. Bass is also a lot of fun. Actually, I just got a new bass amp and new bass, and since then I've been having so much more fun playing bass. Dude, I'm distracting. I love tea. I'm loving listening to this music biz. Sorry, I get so excited talking to people who work in animation. All right, so here I definitely want a harp. So let's throw in some harp action. Harp I like to leave green. Green is what I put as like other. Oh, well, that's not a plugin I want to use. So let's go to native instruments. I just felt no, don't feel bad. There was a period earlier in the stream where I was like literally like answering questions about guitar, and I just didn't write. Oh, okay. This is the cracked version that. Oh God, run demo, sure. I just opened up the wrong version of Contact. It was a period where I was like for 10 minutes straight not playing, just talking. I don't think anyone really minds. What kind of bass amp do you use? I have an Aguilar, so I couldn't remember the name. Aguilar Tone Hammer 800. Which is a great amp. I highly recommend it. It is not cheap, but it's very lightweight, which is great for when I was playing shows with it. Because originally I got it with no intent of really playing shows, and then I was like, why would I get a bass amp and not have the intention of playing shows? So I went with the lighter one because I was torn between that, a Fender Bassman 500, or those are pretty much the two. And my friend, who I trust his word 1000% on all bass stuff, he was like, the Aguilar Tone Hammer will be much lighter. So if you ever want to tour, I recommend getting that. And yeah, so I'm glad I went with that. And I'm glad that I got that. I love it. I actually have been using it on my recent covers, which is why the bass tone sounds good. Because it has a DI out, so I can just plug the XLR out of that head into my interface. So now I can get bass tone going in that's really level and clean. This should be really easy because I'm only recording the left-hand part. Yeah, I got this shirt recently. I got this shirt recently when I played Skanksgiving. No, wait, no, I think this might have been when my band played with Suicide Machines. Actually, I'm not even sure when I got this shirt, but because my band played 350 Fest in Chicago last summer, and we played with the Suicide Machines that day. And then I saw them again at Skanksgiving in November, and I played trombone with them then. So I'm not sure when I got this shirt, but it was one of those 2 times, because both times I did get a bunch of merch from them because they're super nice. And hooked it up. I'm dumb. I'm like hitting the sustain pedal. Like harp just sustains by itself. That, and let's go ahead and hit that. And that I definitely want to be piccolo. Yeah, let's add those little grace notes. Yeah, it was on Hey. I don't know how long I want that to be. Have it cut off on that note. Definitely want that to be oboe. Mix of oboe and another instrument. I'm hearing like a very reedy, very double reed. I feel that piano. It's always fun to play other instruments. I feel like if I could play it, cello would be my favorite instrument to play. I love strings. Strings are just like, if you don't start when you're 3 years old, you'll never have a chance. I feel like bass is a lot better, mainly because violin and viola. I spent 3 years playing orchestra in high school orchestra, playing viola, and like doing that, you got to grow into that. You can't just one day pick it up and like get used to holding an instrument like that. It just doesn't work. It's also a very demanding instrument. I don't believe any instruments are really harder than the others. I just think there's all instruments, viola and violin, kazoo, and that's it. Like kazoo's arguably easier than every other instrument, and violin and viola is arguably, or I guess not arguably, because you can't argue it. It's just not. You know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. Heckle phone. No. Oh, I don't think I have. I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't think I have that plugin sound. I do have there's like world instruments, which is like all non-Western. So, oh crap, I almost canceled the sound on that. So let me go through that and see. I'll put that between the strings and the. I work with older string artists, and they're all like in their 40s. They're amazing. I've been playing since they were kids, so I feel that. Yeah, no, it's very true. I know a lot of people that have been playing since they're kids, and like they're still like compared to like what you hear in movies and like what you see professionals playing, and then I see what they do, and I'm like, wow, like even my friends who play as kids, like we're still miles behind so many people, which I don't think that like technical skill really matches up to like your worth as a musician. I'm not saying that, but there I also, if I was playing a string instrument, I will set very high standards for myself, very much higher than other stuff. So I feel like I would get very frustrated, and like from what I see from violin players, I feel like a lot of violin players quit because they are frustrated because they can't get to that level that one, they're expected to, and two, people recognize. I feel like there's a lot of string representation in music. Everyone knows what a violin sounds like. You know, you play a trombone for people, and like a real normal person that knows nothing about music will call it a trumpet, you know? But like you don't get that. Like no one ever hears a violin and says, "Ah, that's a cello." You know, like no one says that. Like everyone knows violin's that instrument. So higher expectation, higher bar. So I feel like people do get frustrated playing that because when you don't meet that bar, also violin sounds like ass when it's out of tune. Like, oh my god, it's so bad when it's out of tune. So bad. All right, let's see if any of these instruments here. Why? The cutoff note is like right there. That was such a good tone. Let's try this one. That's not what I want. That just sounds like an oboe, but a little less like reverby. But let's try pairing it up. It might work. I like that, actually. All right, now that other one that cut off, I'm going to try that one, but down an octave. And see if that creates like a little more reed depth. It's not exactly what I was imagining it to sound like, but hey, let's try. My favorite Rubik Fish song, I'll probably have to say, is a tie between Drunk Again, because let's be real, that song is the definition of potential Rubik Fish had and wasted because a lot of reasons, not necessarily all their fault. Hold on, I need to get the spelling of this instrument. I don't know how to pronounce that. Shenai? Between Drunk Again and Alternative Baby, which is the last track off of Turn the Radio Off. Very underrated song, but one, it's cute. It's a cute song. Can't get mad at it. And two, it's catchy as heck. And the trumpet solo in it is pretty cool. My students are oblivious, or they're calling trombones trumpets, calling tubas euphonium. It's madness. I tell you, madness. Oh yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna be real though. I didn't even know euphonium. I mean, like, I'm a euphonium player. Euphonium was one of my primary instruments. I didn't know euphonium was an instrument until 10th grade. I went through all of 9th grade. Like, I feel like when you're in middle school, it's very oblivious. Especially like I played trumpet in middle school, so the euphoniums were like the literal only part of the whole band I really couldn't see from where I was at. But yo, 9th grade, we had a baritone section. And I did not know they existed. But also none of them played, which is like standard high school baritone section. So like, I guess that's why I never knew they existed, because I never heard them. And then I got switched to baritone. That's how I found out like this instrument existed. I was like, oh, what? I don't know how I did not know that. I majored on youth in college and played trumpet in a Latin group. Heck yeah. I was supposed to major in euphonium on college. I got into University of South Florida's euphonium studio. Granted, I was a mess when I had auditioned, and they were like, yeah, we'll still take you because there's a lot of potential here. And then I never went to like a 4-year university. I got into 5 music schools in Florida. I never went to a single one of them because Spanish. I never took my Spanish, and then I ended up getting my AA, and then I was going to transfer to UF in 2017, and they were like, so where's your language? And I was like, all of my advisors told me I didn't need one if I was transferring with my degree. So, and then I started taking that, and then Scouts Network started doing well, and I was like, you know what? Student debt, don't need it. Money and financial security and networking in music world, I need that. So, my story. All right, I think I finished all the melody instruments. I'm gonna give a nice rundown of this and see what we have so far. I feel bad for asking more stuff again, but P bass or jazz bass. Right now, so I play a Reverend Decision bass, which is based off of a P bass, and I'm really loving it. So right now, I'm leaning towards a P bass, though it depends on what you're trying to write, because there are certain pieces where I wish I had a jazz bass, but that's very rare. School was holding me back. Yeah, school I feel like is a dope thing if it's there for you. Another problem with me with school was like I'm the first person. Right now I have my AA. I got that. My parents were happy that I at least got that. They wanted me to keep going, but I was like I told them like, "Yo, I'm making enough to sustain myself, like a good amount." And like that's not something many music friends. I have a lot of friends who spent years in college going to music school, and like none of them used their degree. So like I told them, I'm like, I have to make a choice right now. It's like I either stop Scouts Network. Like, Scouts Network was already on my life, and I was like, stop Scouts Network to go to school and then not have a job. So either y'all are gonna pay for my rent and stuff, so you can also pay for my school, and then I'll accumulate debt, or just take a break, and if I feel like I need to go back, I'll do that. At that point, Cartoon Network called me to record on the Steven Universe movie as well, and they asked me to play trumpet, which I have so many friends that majored in trumpet that are great at trumpet who would kill for that opportunity, and some of them were a little envious and jealous that I got that call, but I was like, I talked to people in the industry. That's how I got the call. Y'all went to school, but you got out of school and you don't know anything about anything when it comes to performing, so no one's hiring you to perform. So like Jeremy, aka the only musician I know who cares about financial stability. Oh, that's so funny. When I started making enough money to quit food, I posted on Facebook like has finally quit food, and then someone said, "Congratulations, you're one of 4 people in ska who makes enough money to only do ska," which is hilarious. But yeah, definitely I decided to put school on hold. I already had my AA. And I just decided to like teach myself and work on stuff myself. And I definitely am not saying like school is a waste of time, but it's definitely a waste of time if you're going to school without any direction on why you're going to school. And my plan was to go to Cal Arts, and I just dropped that plan because I was like, I'm doing fine now. Maybe one day, if I ever do go back to school, it will be Cal Arts. Like I was using UF as like a stepping stone. I want to go there and then audition, but now I'm just gonna full on go ahead and do the thing and move out to California if I'm ever gonna do that. But I just don't see that in the future, especially because I'm getting so many gigs like writing music. So school's a double-edged sword. I was fortunate enough when I went to meet in my world-class musicians, professors, and knew how to get to that campus. Yeah, school is definitely great. The thing is, it took me 6.5 years to get my AA, which is like that's enough time to get a full ass master's degree if you're grinding. So if I had gone to school, I would have been a music major during quarantine. That would have sucked. This would have been my second semester. 2, I would have finished my degree in 2022. So that would have been a hindrance on like all of the growth. Like all the growth I've done between like then and now, like when I decided to stop going to school is like monumental. My income has like quadrupled or whatever, which granted quadrupling my income back then is not a big achievement, but it's big enough to be able to like, you know, I have an office. This is my office and I have a bedroom, and I feel like not many people my age can even say they can afford rent on 1 room, but I can afford rent on 2. Also, granted, rent in Gainesville is like a fraction of a closet in New York. So like, again, there's a lot of reasons why I can afford these things. It's mainly where I live. But I think it's definitely a great decision that I made. It took me 9 years with all the starts and stops. I don't feel bad about doing it in 6. Yeah, I mean, it's also very encouraging, and because sometimes I feel like maybe I made a mistake doing everything I'm doing right now. So it's very encouraging. Thank you, Derek, for not evaluating, but reassuring, validating the choices that I've made. All right, let's see what we have so far. I forgot marimba was in this piece. I want to add like some like bell, like a I don't know if that's too busy, but we'll figure it out. delete that piano part. Hello, tuba. You're late as hell. Hope you do more of these. Yeah, I'll be doing more of these. I'll definitely be doing more of these on Twitch. So if you use Twitch, go ahead and follow there. But YouTube is also very engaging. So I'm probably gonna do more YouTube. Like try to do YouTube maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. But I'll definitely be on Twitch a lot. So I'm not an animation music guy, but I'll throw your name out there if I hear anything. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Will always be appreciated. Will always be here on all my social media. It's super easy reaching me, honestly. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, Derek. I play guitar for the sole purpose of playing until I'm 28 just to flex on Jimi Hendrix. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Something was out of time there. Twitch.tv/Scotsu Network. I believe I started putting them in the description of my videos starting like 5 or 6 videos ago. So any of the recent videos. And if it's not, just let me know and I'll add it. Let's just comment on the video and I'll add it in. But I'm pretty sure I did. I feel like I've done it like 3 times, but I keep copying the description from older videos because I don't know why I don't just choose the newest one. A lot of times in the app, depending if it's on the desktop or the mobile app, it'll order them differently based on upload date versus post date. Like the Powerpuff Girls cover I uploaded 7 weeks ago, but it posted this week. Versus like some covers I'll upload like a day before because I am very inconsistent. But yeah, so very inconsistent behind the scenes. Very consistent with uploads though. Have not gone more than 10 days without an upload in the last 3 years, which is or 2 years I should say. Maybe during the melodic section, maybe open up the triangle hits on 3 and 5. Still you're assuming you mean this part? Also this first measure should be in 5/4. Why are you not in 5/4? I think in the original I did have something like that. All right, so that's where the 3/4 is supposed to start. I don't know when this all got messed up. Oh, it got messed up when I took out that measure. Let me play the original. I think I did have something like that in the original, some sort of percussion thing, because that sounds. Pretty low in the mix. Also, I can barely. If I turn it up too loud, y'all are gonna hear the echo through this mic, so I'm just not doing that. But yeah, that's obviously something I'm gonna add in. I'm gonna add in all the percussion at the end though, after I add in all the melodic. So that's just how I write. I'm gonna end the stream pretty soon, so I'm probably not even gonna end this tonight. I'm getting very hungry, and I still have to go record like 2 other things tonight. It's been a busy day for me, but I'm being very productive, so I'm glad. I'm actually probably going to pick up this stream tomorrow on Twitch or later tonight on Twitch. Who knows? I'm actually just feeling like ending this now. But yeah, I'm glad that this went pretty well. I'm glad people are chilling. What is this song? This is a song that I wrote. So this was... You don't have to copy paste all the time because in YouTube for PC at least... You can set a default description that puts on. Oh, that actually I did not know that. I'm like the worst when it comes to like there's so many things I should be reading and I could probably make my life way easier and I just don't. So thank you for letting me know that. I am going to look into that. I should have assumed that's a thing. Just discovered it today. playing all songs. Thanks for sharing your talent. Thank you so much, Natalie. You have cymbals there. Yeah, I definitely did hear all the cymbal crashes on like one. Anyway, this song. So this is like, let me backtrack. I wrote this melody in high school. It goes like this. Oh, my bad. I just kicked my mic. And then it goes up an octave. So I wrote that in high school. It was very short, very, very simple. And something I really admire about composers in general is when they take like a motif and they use it over and over again and they grow that motif and grow it and grow it. So in 2016, I started this record that I never finished, and I didn't finish it because I stopped working on it. I was always working on it. The problem was I would get much, much better. I'm going to make this the closing like statement. I'm going to explain all this. Probably take like 10 minutes. And then I'm going to end this feed because I now have to use the bathroom and I'm hungry. So I'm just not in the mood to write anymore. But yeah, so the idea was to grow that motif bigger and bigger and see how big I can get with one motif and create a whole like record that it's like 40 or 50 songs long and create this huge record that is the same melody that's very short, stretched over, and create a story through the music. Like you're listening to the music, you can imagine the story. And then I had the idea of like making concept art. This actually was going to be my application to Cal Arts. This was a project that I was going to hire people to create concept art, create a story arc. And basically it's like a television show pitch, but I'm not pitching the show, I'm pitching the soundtrack to tell you the idea of the show. It was going to be a huge thing, and that was going to be like the main motif of the protagonist. And if this piece isn't one of the pieces throughout the thing where like that main riff at the beginning, that's like it's like a very like whimsical, like I said, I've said throughout this thing, like a very like shenanigans like type sounding piece with that whole like, it's very like childish, like that's a very obvious reference to, which like a very like elementary sounding like piece, like song that everyone knows. That's like definitely a reference to that. So I'm basically taking this melody and you could hear it in that. That's the big kicker. It's that major 2 chord. So it's that same idea, and I built the piece up, and obviously you hear that melody. So you hear it like there. That's another motif that I've used throughout the piece. When it's cohesive in like the context of the concept record, the motifs coming up is really cool, but by itself it's obviously not as effective. I'll play a few pieces. I'll just look them up and play them because I can do that. Most of them still exist on the internet. And the idea was to have like different themes for like different parts. Like kind of more like a video game soundtrack than it was like a TV show like type soundtrack. But and there's like different themes for different like levels or areas type deal. But you hear the motif like mixed up and thrown around. Like there's one part where like the bassoon is playing, and it's obviously like a darker like part. It's in minor, and then that same motif is played but in harmonic minor. And then this part. So it's the same motif again, but it keeps changing over the chords. And then it goes into like a minor. And then it goes to minor or major again. So that part's just that same changing over and over again. Let me pull up some other examples off of my dreaded old SoundCloud. Not really old because this was like an island inspired piece that I wrote. Let me make sure the sound is still on for that. Yeah, y'all can still hear it. So it's taking that same motif, and I feel like that's definitely very like adventurous, very like magical. But I feel like if I was going for like an island theme, I'd want to have like obviously like a lot of ska music uses this, and there's a lot of ska influence in this piece definitely. I felt like going to like a major 4 chord is just much more softer. Sounds much more island. And then I just naturally write island and like Afro-Caribbean rhythms pretty easily myself, so I don't have to like think about this one too hard when I was creating it. This one actually is the first thing I wrote when I got this computer, so it's not that old. And one day I want to revive this whole thing. So like, this would be like the water level one, like that's like the water level type stuff, and then the same motif again in this piece. But now this is definitely more like floating in water, like type vibe. And the more I play these motifs, the more you notice the same things over and over again, but kind of rework. Like a deserty. Hired out a game composer. No one's hired me to write for their game. That's literally it. If anyone hired me to write for their thing, I would do it in a heartbeat. Like, especially if it's not ska. If you're telling me to write like stuff like this, I would do it and have so much fun with it. So that's kind of like the motif. That motif right there. It's kind of like the desert. That's the desert motif. That's the motif I use for the entire desert piece. Blah, blah, blah. And then this is like a dungeon piece that I'd written. It's using that like same motif, that same ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. So I really love taking simple melodic ideas and building them up and building them up and building them up. And then I have a boss battle. And then in the beginning of the boss battle piece, this is really cool. Speaking of motifs, you have this thing. So it starts with that. And this guitar is playing. So the desert piece follows the Phrygian scale, but it has a major third. Sorry. So that scale is very deserty sounding. And so I played the same melody, but I just changed the notes to fit the scale. And you hear it here, so. And this guitar. I love playing around with motifs. You can create so much out of so little. And that's something I really love about it. Yeah, so these are like how all these final products typically end up sounding when I'm done writing all of them. And I can go through these for hours, picking up old. I'm going to look up an older one. This is an older one that kind of uses that motif section is the same as. So it's that same melodic idea. So the idea is to create a cohesive record when you're listening through it. It sounds like you're going on an adventure. And whenever you hear those melodic ideas brought up again, like whenever you hear that, you know, you think of the protagonist, something development a protagonist would make. That's like typically what composers would do, like in a movie or in a TV show. Or like in the desert, when you hear that, you're reminded of the setting of the desert. The people start associating that with, and that's like something a composer needs to know how to do for like writing, especially for something as expressive as animation, which is where I want to go into. So like a composer hearing that, they hear that, they think of like that desert, they think of like that boss, and like finding ways to mix together. Like, you know, you hear that at the beginning of the boss battle. When you hear both melodies, it's like the idea is like, okay, you're about to see the protagonist and the antagonist have a showdown. You know, they're about to fight. So you hear both of their melodies kind of playing at one time. That was like the goal I was achieving with this record, to show how I can evoke all of those types of things with my compositions, and get many different environments and feelings. Like this one is a really fun piece. I really want to rewrite one day, but I need to figure out how to rewrite it because it'll be very different with the same idea. When you're done writing them, you should definitely post them as official videos, like your ska ones. I'm sure everyone would love it as well. That's really, I've had the idea of posting them, like posting each like chapter, whatever you want to call it, like story of like each, I guess, element or world, whatever you want to call it, as like their own EP in a way, and hire someone to make art and create like a thing. The only thing is I can't really play along to these for obvious reasons. This was a snow themed one, which like people always associate snow music with Christmas music. I actually watched 8-Bit Music Theory. Definitely check out that channel if you want to learn about video game music and where a lot of my inspiration for writing music came from. I was feeling really stuck with my writing, and 8-Bit Music Theory's channel helped me look at theory in a different way and how to use writing techniques in a different way. And I think it's, even if you don't know a lot about music theory, it's very easy to follow still. But the first video I saw was like what makes Christmas music sound Christmassy, and he was comparing it to like video game music using Christmas stuff. And no, it's not the sleigh bell, but it's the sound of being overly happy and whimsical. And he also has another video called Why Does Mario Music Sound So Happy? And what channel is that? 8-Bit Music Theory, like 8-bit. Actually, I'll just type it in. I wonder if I can tag it. No, I can't tag it in the chat, but I can type it in. 8-Bit Music Theory. Yeah. So it's a dope channel. But anyway, one of the things he talks about in the video is the melodies will be written around like major chords. Like they'll have like a very major like chord progression. Like something like that. Something very major, very happy when you're writing like a Christmas music or something sounding overly happy. So the next thing you want to do is write a melody that outlines the chords, that it's not too busy, it's very simple, it's very catchy. So what I started doing is I already had my chord progression down. So I wrote this, which is outlining the C major chord, and then F major, just going up the chord, and then C major. And I always try to end all of the what's it called? End all of like the phrases, each part of the melody on like either the third or the fifth. The third really emphasizes that it's in a major feel. Like that's the third. So it's really emphasizing the third on all of these. It also starts on the third. Very intentional. And then either that or end on the fifth. The fifth kind of gives you the feeling that it's not over yet. Like you don't want to have the middle of the phrase end on like the one, because then that'll give the sense that the phrase is over and it's not over yet. So I'll have the fifth. And then when I go to the 5 chord, it just sits on that 5 because it's giving me momentum to want to go forward. And then going down to that 2, which is the 5th of the, what's it called? The G chord. It gives a sense that it's not over. And then giving that 7, resolving back down to the 3. So that was the idea that I kind of just took from that video, like the why it sounds so fun thing. And then the other thing he said is like it sounds fun because there's a lot of chromatic notes. So then I started adding in chromatic notes to that. Not too many chromatic notes, but just enough. Wrong chord. which that was also a reference to Bomb Bomb Battlefield. And then the final thing is add some Christmas sounding instrumentation, and congratulations, you have a Christmas song. Another thing about arrangement wise, okay, this has become a full punk rock, I guess, not really punk rock, but music theory stream. Congratulations. What's it called? Another thing that like Christmas music does like to do is, I'm actually about to explain a lot why it sounds like Christmas music. Christmas music is a very American, like Christmas music is very American. Like before the like 40s, 50s, 60s, where all those timeless Christmas songs were written, Christmas music wasn't very like around a lot. Most of it was like chorale, very church related. But the modern idea of Christmas music is very American. And one thing a lot of Christmas music does that people don't realize is it's modeled after marches. It has that march feel. That's why in this piece I had that very underneath it. Because, you know, that like marches are the most American music there is. It's the first music that really identified the sound of America. So that's like that march. Like listen again, but listen for that like march sound. That's it. Mixing that with like kind of like the rock, like 50s rock sound that I had going on with it, with like the very jazzy like horns, like, you know, like a lot of those like that Frank Sinatra era, a lot of Christmas tracks that people listen to was recorded in that time. So that was like a mix of all of that was what I was going for with this, which granted is very busy because of that, and I would change a lot if I wrote it again now. Which this is one I would have to sit down for. What software do I use? I use Logic Pro 10. Logic Pro 10. Yeah, so like a lot of it I would change because of that. It's very busy, like there's a lot going on at once. It's like a walking rock and roll bass line while there's like this, which is like way too much happening at once. But yeah, I think the melody and the core of the song itself is very well written. One of the best melodies I ever wrote. And then I took that same idea and like that's like the sound of like you're just entering like a Christmas themed winter wonderland, you know, whatever bullshit you want to call it. And so then I took that same idea and, you know, if you're like in a snowy field, what would that sound like? Well, if you're in the middle of a barren snowy field that's like beautiful to look at but barren, would you have that same upbeatness? So I went with this approach for this next part of the piece. Added that. I think that's the most Christmas sounding. So that same melody is being played, but it's way less whimsical than before. That's the word of the stream, whimsical. I got rid of the chromatic to get rid of the whimsical level. Just kind of going up the scale, and adding that with the above it to give it like much more of like a prettier feel. It's a never-ending building of like tying in that motif again with like the motif of the area or whatever you want to call it, and then dungeon vibes, which I also did a live stream re-recording this. I need to finish that up and upload it. this one I was like, okay, let me use a lot of metal instruments to represent the idea of being cold. And it's the same motif again. So it's like there's a lot of ways you can take the same musical idea and work around it and change the tone a lot while keeping the same idea. And it can go from being this like really whimsical, happy sounding song to like something that sounds so like melancholy, you know? And that's like the goal I was going with this whole thing. Sorry, this turned into a little tangent, but I mean, same 20 people have been watching this whole time, so I guess they all are into it. Sitting on that. I feel like this one's not as obvious. This isn't as obvious, but that part of that sitting on that 5 chord and having that. And then the next part that comes in is this. Over and over again. That's a reference to the original Snow theme where it was very... So I took that and really sat on it, just like really building tension. You just want it to resolve, and you want it to resolve. But instead of resolving, you get this. So you get this minor riff, which is again a reference to this motif that I put in here. So all of my motifs is recycling the same thing over and over and over again, but making it work, making it like, you know, you're capturing a different vibe each and every time. Favorite ska band, off topic, very off topic. The Bruce Lee band or Kill Lincoln, I have to say. Right now I've been listening to a lot of Omnigon, though, but I feel like longevity-wise, We Are the Union used to be my favorite ska band forever, but right now I'll definitely say like the Bruce Lee band. I feel like really captures everything that I love about ska. Especially with the last 2 records that they put out, Rental Eviction and Everything Will Be Alright, My Friend. Excuse me. I feel like that's all the talking I can do about the motif stuff. I have a few other sticky. I don't think I've heard. I've heard that name, but I can't place what they sound like while thinking about it. I don't think I have any other examples. I mean, I have this example. No, I'm sorry, that does not use that motif. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else that really like uses that motif heavily, aside from like old stuff that I just don't want to play because it sounds like shit. This is the first thing I ever wrote when I got Logic. This is getting really out of pocket, man. Sorry, that's really loud. I just realized. Sorry. I was like, that sounds really loud on my end. It's probably like distorting everyone's speakers. I wouldn't count NoFX as a ska band. I would just say they're punk. I used to write a lot of this type of music. I was listening to a lot of like Mark Reddido and Cara Cara Bonito in 2016 when I first got Logic. So I was writing a lot of music that was like in like this weird vein of I feel like I could really like rewrite this stuff now. And I feel like there's a lot of cool ideas going on in this music. It was definitely me not knowing how to do any of the sounds I was trying to do. I would definitely admit that. Just a lot of weird stuff. I was like really experimenting. It was my first time ever using a DAW, and I was like, let me just create stuff. And I definitely had a lot of really creative ideas going on. I named this piece Torque Timer because it reminded me of Animal Crossing. Alright, I'm gonna end this feed very, very soon. Sounds like something, yeah. I mean, Steven Universe, Ivy, and Slash were a huge inspiration for my writing for so long, too. So. Yeah, this kind of goes hard. Who would have thunk? It sounds terrible, like mixing wise, but it goes hard. Alright, since I'm here, I might as well play it. This is the first ska cover I ever recorded. Like before starting Ska 2 Network. It's so bad. This has like an absurd amount of plays on SoundCloud too. I remember when I posted that, Ben Levin, who worked on Steven Universe, shared it. Which I didn't know I used his art because he loves ska, and I used his art. Like I didn't realize for like the cover photo thing. Yeah, it's nice being able to play songs that I know won't get me like flagged because like it'd be doing that. When I play like stuff on YouTube, it'll like end the feed because it's like copyrighted. Even my own music, which is like annoying. One of the best first tunes from Steven Universe. Yes, oh my gosh, Giant Woman was a banger. This is when I was really into writing classical music. I first learned about borrowed chords, and I was using them all over this piece. I can't go that high. I don't remember this whole section. It's so robotic, I can't take it. Alright, I'm gonna end this feed, I guess. I said that like 20 times now. But heck, no one ever gets to see my old music, so why not share it? Okay, hold on. I don't even remember what some of these are, so we're gonna experience this together. All 27 people. Oh, it's gone up 7 people. Welcome. All 27 people. Wow. I'm going through my old SoundCloud, and just playing old pieces that I wrote. This one I wrote is called "We Get It, You Like John Williams," which, if I'm remembering, I don't need to have these on. If I'm remembering correctly, it's because I learned a lot of composition techniques that John Williams does. I'm going to go ahead and plug in one of my speakers just so I can hear myself playing piano. Not that one. There we go. Give me a second. Oh, it's going into that. That's why the monitor's not working. I have to unplug the monitor. I guess I have to put my headphones back on then. But anyway, yeah, I learned a few composition techniques that John Williams does. One of the things he loves to do is like use major chords everywhere. I don't know how else to say it. Like I'm sorry. One thing he wants to do is like if you take like a chord, like let's say C, take a note C, very easy note. Go up to the fifth, and then go down a half step. That note right there, that's what we call a tritone, right? Okay, so he likes to take a major chord, play it on the C, and then play the same major chord, same shape, but play it on the tritone. That's something, there you go. That's something John Williams loves to do. He loves moving major chords around as if they're just a melody moving around normally. Like, he does it a lot like in Star Wars. How does it go? Like, he loves doing that. Like, that's literally how John Williams writes. Like, it's straight, I mean, it's more to that, obviously. There's way more to that. Like, he's a very, very, very incredible composer and stuff like that. But when you start learning his tricks, another thing he likes doing is the same thing but opposite. He likes taking a minor chord, and instead of going to like a note that's in the key, he'll just go to a minor chord a certain interval away. So he'll go to like a minor chord but a major third away. If he's trying to write something that's super like dark, and then what he'll do is like go play the minor chord and then go to the 4 chord but play it major. Like, oh, there's some hope that something's about to change. You know, everything's dark now, but there's some light. I don't know, some bullshit like that. Some like Spider-Man just saw Uncle Ben died, but he has a power, you know, with great power. With great power comes great responsibility. You know, that's like a very, very John Williams technique. So I learned about a lot of stuff like that, and I wrote this piece called "We Get It, You Like John Williams." Let's go into that major chord but a tritone away. C. Same thing again, but it's going from A minor to E flat major. Also, this was kind of it was kind of that melody. A little bit. Very, very ripping off Star Wars. I like the idea of what I did here. I would execute it completely differently. A lot of those I just didn't know how to mix at the time. So, sounds bad, dude. I mean, yeah, I wrote this 3.5 years ago when I first got a DAW. Yeah, I know it sounds bad. This is me going through the audio system. Like, what do you mean the audio system sounds bad? This piece is called Watches the Get Down Once. I'm not sure even what this is, so we're going to experience it together. Ooh, hold on. I remember this one. This was the first piece I ever recorded guitar on. It was me testing how to record guitar. I'm gonna do a live stream rewriting this. Oh, someone from Japan. Konnichiwa. Genki desu ka? Or I guess Genki desu ka? Okay, hold on. This is a bop. Yeah, I think what happened, I called it this. Normally I'll make these these meme ass titles like We Get It, You Like John Williams or Watches to Get Down Once, because I'll learn about something or watch something and then I'll like start writing music that sounds like it because I'll get inspired and it'll be a way to get out of my comfort zone. Like I obviously don't write disco or funk a lot. I mean I have written a lot more of that than you would think, but that was definitely a thing. What's up? Hello. I'm about to end this stream soon, but I am definitely just going through the deep archive of my SoundCloud, looking at old projects because I'm curious to see what I was writing back in the day. This one I also don't remember, but it's called Funkman Saves the Day, which is a reference to my old ska band because our name was Funkman's Inferno, which that alone even raises more questions of where that name comes from, and I really don't have all the answers to. But let's see. Oh, I remember writing this one. I wrote this one I started playing it as a joke because I was playing that riff from the first song that I was just playing. So that was the riff from that original song. And then I started playing that like really fast, like with more energy, and I was like, this sounds like a cop movie or something like that. And then I started writing this song as a joke, and then I just kept going with it. Like the beginning is a very a very 70s like I don't even know how to say it, like Funkman Jones is a loose cannon cop who plays by his own rules. Like that was the vibe I was going for this one. You got some old bangers. That's so funny. What band slash album do you think was the most inspirational? I feel like definitely Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra is a huge inspiration for me. I do not own the ska. The MIDI sax solo is so funny. Like the heart was in the right place for these. They just sound so bad because I just didn't have the skills to make them sound good at the time. But now I have way better skills, way better MIDI plugins. I should like revisit some of these and write them. I've had the idea of doing a series called Ska Songs I Wrote in High School, or rewriting ska songs. But I feel like revisiting these would be funny. This piece was my first commission, although it was like a free commission. I kind of offered to my friend I'll do it for free, and he ended up paying me like very cheaply for it. But I had no experience at the time, so I was like, I was dedicated to take anything. But this was he sent me Miles Davis as an inspiration. He was like, "Can you write something that sounds like this?" And he sent me Blue and Green. So I wrote this piece called Green and Blue. Do you have a sample of the limited flower shirt? No, none of those shirts are made yet. They're all on pre-order. Basically what I'm doing is for 2 weeks, it's gonna be on pre-order, and then once all of those are made, I'm gonna make very rough, like very close to that amount. And then basically they're kind of made to order. Like I'll make a few extra of each size, but for the most part they're made to order. So that way, because like we live in a time right now where like a month from now, more people could not be working, and I don't know. I'm not gonna drop thousands of dollars making merch, and then by the time the merch is done being made, like no one can buy stuff. So like I'm not gonna put the risk and try to guess how many of each size to make. So doing the pre-order is much more secure for me because like if a week from now, a lot less people are working, less people have money, I can at least guarantee to ship out what was ordered up until then, and I'm not gonna make a bunch of extras on, especially for something that's like 4 colors, and I can't just like. Basically, like for screen printing too, it's like I can't just make one copy of something just for like a sample so people can see. Like all my merch looks good as hell. It's printed on Bella Canvas, which is comfortable as hell. Like, so yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream soon. I just like got wrapped up in the depths of my SoundCloud. This piece was written. Someone told me to write like a jazz piece, and I was like, I'll try. At the time, now I can write a jazz piece pretty easily. But at the time, I did not know shit about writing jazz. How did I? This is one I don't remember. I think it's like. I don't know. I think I was just making thick chords and like, oh, that sounds good. That's what I would do. Let me do this on mine like once every couple weeks. Yo, I love going through my old stuff. I have so much old stuff too. Like I was talking to my partner recently, like showing them old stuff, and they're like, "You keep every time you show me old stuff, it's a whole arsenal of things I've never heard. Like, how much stuff do you have made?" And I'm like, I don't know. I guess I never realized how much music I've written until like you start going through. This piece is dope. Y'all are gonna love this one. I really want to. I actually was gonna stream this one instead of the one I'm working on now. But I was feeling the one I was working on this stream more. But next stream I might work on this one because I really want to redo this one. But I watched Stranger Things and then I immediately wrote this and called it 11. There's never too much synth toms happening. Sounds like a sweet Mega Man stage, it really does. Oh yeah, that one's really cool. I want to rewrite that one. Your Instagram says the black and white Cartoon Network shirt. Like the logo shirt is not limited. That one I'm still making. Like that one's on pre-order right now. So if you're ordering one of those shirts, I'm pre-ordering them small through 5XL. I will be making a little more extra of those. But they will be happening in waves. Like I haven't had a few sizes available in about a month and a half now. So, but those will be printed again. Like most of the time, I try to only make shirts once, maybe twice. It'll change for live. When I just start doing live shows, I'm gonna bring back old designs for those instead of like just paying for new designs to like, because I make a new design like a month at this rate. So, but yeah, so there's a lot of layers to that. But that one is available. All my shirts, especially if they're a black shirt, always make small through 5XL because 6XL. I always ask for 6XL, but Bella Canvas has been sold out of that for like the longest time. I don't even think they make it anymore. It's just there. But yeah, my thing is like I'll just make one of these large sizes, and like I don't know, when bands like only make up to large and they're like, oh, we don't want to risk making XL. It's like, homie, you can make one. Just make one. Because someone will buy it. Like, just make one and have the option there. If you're that worried about no one buying it, like, you have the money to drop the $6 to screen print one extra shirt just to have the option there. Like, you really think your Starbucks drink, like, amount of money is worth more than having the size there for someone who is a bigger person? You really think you can't just make one extra? No one's charging you by the size. It's by the screen. So you can make 1 million medium shirts in one XL and it won't cost any more. Like, just do it. I don't know. That's something that really aggravates me with I've run out of content to show y'all. So I'm gonna end this stream now. But yeah, I'm gonna end it right there with calling y'all out if you're making merch and you're refusing to make sizes for larger people. Like, yo, they matter and they get fucked over by people who don't want to make larger sizes enough. So just make the sizes. It's not gonna hurt nobody. All right. Unless you like deeply don't want larger people wearing your stuff, which is even worse. That's even worse. I hope that's not the reason. I hope the reason is you're cheap. If I had to pick of the two. It's also kind of fucked up that they do charge them more to make the larger sizes, but to me it's like whatever. I'll bite the bullet. I don't raise the prices. I'll bite the bullet. I'll take the $2 less dollars per larger shirt because people are wearing my stuff, and I care about that more than money. All right, I'm gonna end the stream. Thanks for watching, y'all. For the last 4 hours. God, it's 11:30. I started streaming at like 7 or 6, but I started on Facebook. So, anyway, bye, y'all. Later. Take care. Stay